Facebook is coming online, and we are live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello and good morning. It is early afternoon for me here. I am Sinfully Cerebral coming to you live from Tangled. Today we will be talking about near-death experiences. So the live stream just started. I don't want to jump directly into it. Rocco, let's give people a shout out for coming to hang out with us. We'll wait for people to come in. We are live on both Facebook, YouTube, and Tangled. So I'm mostly going to be trying to watch the Tangled chat just because this is where I'm predominantly streaming. And I'm going to put this in front so it's not disorienting for people with the mirror. Okay. So hit it. Are we talking about cake? Or are you guys smashing the like button? And then the front man official says, I have more pictures. I'll post one by one. They are more gorgeous. You have seen them already. Oh, they're more gorgeous than the ones I've seen already. Thank you. Rocco, good morning. How do you feel today? I hope you keep me safe from danger. Fatima, yes, the front man official's cakes are very pretty. Nice and plump. Very smooth looking. Mustafa, thanks for coming to hang out, bro. I'm glad you could make it. When it's time for bed, you guys go to bed, okay? Waleed, what's up, bro? Aren't you over in Pakistan too? It's starting to get late. You're not sleepy, bro? DMT gets released when you have near-death experiences. DMT is responsible for when people say their life flashes before their eyes. So Jonathan Hernandez immediately jumped into the chat when the post went up and said, my bro was dead for like 14 minutes when they cracked his skull open and stabbed him. Violence. Okay, we're talking about violence here. So, that just in and of itself is already a lot to take in. I'm not gonna lie. Then he said the only reason he survived was because him and his boy ate 100 e-pills that weekend. So they were living some type of other kind of life. I'm gonna say that. The front man official said they had to read it twice, and then he said they operated him with no aesthetic because he was so high. I believe it. And then if any of you guys can read that part, this is what he said he woke up to with his finger somewhere. Who else is here? So Raza, Shohana, Denver Walker, we haven't seen you in a little bit. Thanks for coming to hang out. We appreciate it. And then let's catch up back with the chat. Hamza Kazi, good morning, bro, or good evening. Pataha, it's actually front woman. Why is it front woman? Are you sure? How do you know it's not front man? Men make cakes too. Some men have really nice cakes. Some delicious cakes. Some men have cakes that you just want to put your whole face into. Is the doctor in here? Oh yeah. Dr. Jillian, how are you doing? I'm sorry, Dr. Jilani. Dr. Jilani. See, Doctor by profession. Dr. Jilani. Glad to see you guys. Waleed, I'm glad you're doing okay. It's kind of early for me. It's 1:24 p.m. So usually I don't stream this early, but I wanted to get it over and done with because I want to do the chats. I want to kind of collect all the information in the chats for putting it in for the studios. So kind of want to get that over and done with. Hello, whoever is watching on Facebook, please feel free to leave a comment. So that we can, have a nice conversation. Right now, I am live on Tangled. So what you're seeing in front of you is me hanging out with everybody on Tangled. We have 15 people on Tangled and about one person on YouTube right now. So I mean on Facebook. Nobody is on YouTube because they don't fuck with me, but it's okay. Let me see. Oh yeah, Florel. Hello. I don't know if I know you. Let's go look at Florel's page. Well, your pictures all look AI generated, so I don't know who you are, but you have a purple badge and you have a YouTube channel and a blue badge. Wow, you have one of each badge. Yo, you've collected all the badges. You have a white, blue, and purple badge. I don't know. That's kind of cool. Not gonna lie. And you got the nocturnal badge from Time Fungus, which is really cool because I also have this badge. And then you have a rainbow community. I mean, not rainbow, alphabet community badge. I said rainbow community. They also love coffee. Me wishing that Milik's value will go to the moon. Yeah, I'm kind of scared. With the way that people are acting right now, I don't want Milik's to go to the moon. They might lose their minds. Wow, this looks very lovely. I see your page is mostly AI art, which is okay. Oh, is this you with your actual pictures? What's this blue thing right here? Is this your shirt?
Everyone, this is my entry for Tangle Hand Sign 2, hosted by Pulpers Heart, sponsored by GE Studio. Let's start with a letter I space LOVE space TANG MENG. That's all. Bye bye.
Awesome. Thank you so much for participating in Purple Heart's uh, Tangled Hand Signed challenge. We appreciate that. I made sure I liked and I gave you a tip for that. So I'm glad that you are out here participating in people's challenges. Let's see what other statistics you have. So since you've come over, I'll give you a subscribe. Make sure you come hang out in the future with us, okay? Frontman is a woman, Jonathan Hernandez. How could you? Oh, Olua Ma. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Olua Femia de Bale. Olua Femia de Bale. What's up, bro? How's it going? How are you doing? You're in Nigeria, right? Niger. Sure. Let's see. Okay, hold on. Everybody keeps saying front woman with dangerous mind. Everyone keeps saying that front man is a woman. Why would you guys say that? She's woke and fluid with her pronouns. Oh. Ayat was like, give me your profile link on WhatsApp. I sent her and she was like, I can't believe it. Who? Are you talking about Fatima? Oh yeah, Ayat Fatima, cause you hide it from me. Oh, so you guys know each other, but you didn't know that that was who she was. Oh, Airsoul, what's up, bro? I'm glad to see you. Good morning. How are you feeling today? It makes me scared. Is it daytime or nighttime for you? Is it early or late? It should probably be at late afternoon, right? It's almost evening. That's the sour winner dumping the market, thinking them. Oh, okay. You think so? You really think so? Dabs, you think that's what's happening? I was wondering. I was wondering who was trying to poison the watering hole. I honestly thought it was my German best friends. I thought that they were trying to KO everyone. Time Fungus, good morning, bro. I'm glad to see you. Everyone say good morning to Time Fungus. Okay. If you can't hear me, I don't know what to tell you. I know all of you guys haven't been. No. Everyone say good morning. Okay, yeah. I'm about to say, I know the stream hasn't been going on for this long and nobody said that they couldn't hear me because then we would have to fight. I would have to exact violence onto you guys if for this long I was talking and nobody could hear me. Let me see. It's that loud. My ear is bleeding. It's that loud? The fungus? Who? What's loud? Turn the volume on your phone down. Yeah, the chat is super mad. Super. No problem, Flora. I'm glad that I was able to see your page. Fatima, why is everybody calling that front man official? No, outside. They're clearly a front man. They want to be front man. Stop exposing them. Wall of China. Hamza Kazi? Why are we talking about that? Jonathan Hernandez, why are you using such violent language in the chat? Good morning, Ice. Good morning, everyone. I ain't reading that. You're not reading everybody say hello and sending you hearts and kisses? Really good to see you in good health. Thank you, Hamza Kazi. I appreciate that. Rocco, you must not love pizza that much because it's never too early for pizza. You know they have breakfast pizza. They also have dessert pizza. You just have dessert pizza for breakfast, and then it's set. You can have pizza forever. Now, are you guys ready to have this to dive into this topic? It's going to be kind of heavy. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, exactly. The frontman official says, "I am a frontman. I don't want to be exposed, but now I am, thanks to all the sponsors." Shouldn't it be man in the back then? Woman in the front, man in the back? Is that how it is now? She is already exposed. You got Shohana. You're. How could you let everybody expose them like this? Dabs is gonna go live after I get done going live, guys. So, I want to try and focus on our objectives today, and we're gonna get through everything. So, the first one we're gonna get through is this video by Renaissance Fairy. So, we're gonna start it off with what she wrote, and it's a more detailed account of my near-death experience. I would like to extend my gratitude to Lee, Susan, and Lauren D for requesting this video. Thank you for reviewing this video. Please like and share. Return from the void. In the depths of an endless dark expanse, where silence weeps and shadows murmur, I drifted alone in a void of sorrow, a desolate space where even hope seemed distant, until a tender voice emerged from the darkness, whispering, "Our love will change the universe." Yet fate pulled me back to a weary world, a realm heavy with loss and lingering ache, where each step felt burdened and each breath a reminder of the parting from the cosmic dream. In the wake of that bittersweet farewell, a single kiss sealed a promise, a vow to protect someone dear, a light worth guiding through all the storms. Now beneath the sky scattered with ancient stars, I gaze upward with a quiet strength, finding solace in the luminous echoes of the night. The blue rose, forever etched in my memory, unfolded like delicate stained glass across the canvas of my mind, a symbol of transformation, resilience, and the power of love to reshape all that we know. And this is the poem that Renaissance Fairy put together to go with their experience of their NDE. So, okay, this Neogenian Life, thanks for coming to hang out. Just popped in, but have to go soon. No problem. Renaissance Fairy is talking about their near-death experience. So I'm now going to detach this chat window from the main hub so that you guys can see. I don't know why it just tried to go over to Facebook. Ridiculous. I know her from Noise Cash. Even more reasons to respect them. Who are we respecting, Time Fungus? But nope. Oh, really? This is Jonathan Hernandez. I just seen your comment. I mean, I suspected, but I'm on a phone call, so stream it's a little wonky here for me. No problem. Enjoy your phone call. You guys are saying such horrible things. What are you? Oh my goodness. Why are you guys like this? There's so much violence going on in the chat right now. This is why moderators are super duper important. Tango's gonna have to get moderators in the future. Anyway, no violence. We only want peace, no problems. We're gonna continue on with Renaissance Fairies video with their near death experience. So I hope all of you can stay calm, cool, and collected and respect Renaissance, okay? Albert Torres, thanks for making a comment and says every day is a near death experience.
Hi, I'm Ren, and I got a few requests of giving full details.
Okay, so it is very quiet. I don't know if you guys could even hear that, so let me make sure all the audio is put up under capture. Ooh. Okay, so turn your volumes up, guys, because the volume on this is a little low. Okay.
Hi, I'm Ren, and I got a few requests of giving full details for my near death experience. And it's a little hard for me to talk about this. It happened, a while back, and I was very sick. And what happened was because I was sick, I went through kind of like pre-death experiences where I saw images in the room of like cats coming out of the floor and like spirits floating above me, you know. And the weirdest thing was, I started hearing that voice that's going to come a little bit later in this, talking to me about things like, giving me comfort, telling me everything's going to be all right and they'll be waiting for me as this was going on. But when this experience happened, I did have the out of body experience where I saw myself laying on the bed, and I quickly went where I was supposed to be going, I guess. I did see the white light, which was kind of interesting. And this voice told me to go through the white light and they'll meet me on the other side. And I had to go through a stained glass wall that was multiple different colors. And when I broke through this wall and entered, it felt like I was falling, but I wasn't going nowhere. And the voice told me, hey, remember, you're gonna have this overpowering feeling of knowledge or whatever when you get here. And when I got there, there was this overpowering full of knowledge. Sometimes I wonder if it's more than our knowledge is our feelings, because it seems like we have all these feelings and it powers us, happy, happy will forming. Well, will forming isn't a feeling, but when you want to go after something, you go after it. So you have all these feelings in yourself, and it gives you the urge to go do something, the motivation, But going on with my story, so when I found this other and we were communicating, but we weren't using language. We were talking through thoughts, not words. And what I can remember of this conversation was that I wanted to go back home because I had to take care of another person. And this voice told me not to go, to stay, this is where I need to be now. And I kept on insisting, I have to go. And we agreed that for this time being, we'll separate. And they even told me I always do this. And it's like, well, I need to go. So how I had to exit, in a sense, was through a kiss. So I kissed this being, or them, and went through them. And they told me, as this was happening, I should say, remember, our love will change the universe. And this blue rose unfolded, and I started going on my way back. And I went through another blue rose. And it was like, when I got back, because they put me in a coma, I had to it was like reliving or revisiting my past lives. And, there was a time that I died, I was burned to death. There was another time that, just different forms of death happened, and it was weird. When I woke up, I had complete loss of memory who I was, and slowly but surely, I talked to counselors. I talked to even counselors about my near-death experience, and they told me that I traveled really deep down into my subconscious. And I even told them more of things that happened in the conversation. I was told not to forget about the water. Very esoteric, and symbols was part of that whole experience, like the water, like fire, like, all this other stuff happening, and talking to the psychologist, I kind of figured out a few things. And then I started doing research and digging into, like, what does these symbols mean? Where do they come from? Because you can kind of think, oh, it's water is water and fire is fire, and they're not. It's language that your subconscious mind tells you what's going on. To this day, I don't know if the being I was talking to was someone outside of me or inside me. It was there, and this being, or this other, in a sense, or whatever you want to call it, always told me, use your reason. You can get through this. Just use your reason. So I want to thank Lee, Lauren, and Susan requesting this. I'm going to leave a poem that I wrote on this.
Okay, so I did make a comment to Ren about how the video does cut off a little bit early towards the end, and they were just saying that they ran out of space. So that is the end of their video. Deal with it, okay? But we want to thank Renaissance Fairy for sharing their NDE with us. Renaissance Fairy is currently in the Tangled chat, so all of you, make sure that you go ahead and be kind to Renaissance Fairy first and foremost. Let's make sure I put their profile in the chat. And we will be working to get all of the Neogenians verified on Tangled. I can't wait for them to have their white and purple badges. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Dr. Jelani. I appreciate that. So, some of the things that Ren was talking about really kind of stood out. Especially towards the end, she was talking about she didn't know if she was speaking to an entity outside of her or within her. And kind of what I look at is that the deeper that we dive into our own psyche, our own emotional well-being, and our own personal experiences, the greater sense of ourself that we can have. And as long as you are filtering that through rational logic and you are coming to a higher understanding of yourself, you can actually connect with a higher sense of intimacy with other minds. So I find it interesting that the deeper we go into ourselves, the greater that we can connect with others. So is anything really outside of us, or is it that we right now exist in a very shallow mental state? And as we evolve, we will slowly but surely enter deeper, more profound mental states that will allow us a chance to have much more intimate relations and connections with ourselves and each other. Mabrosh, what's up? Thanks for coming to hang out. Thank you, Renaissance, for sharing your video with us. Yes, your near-death experience, your NDE. And Jonathan Hernandez, like I said, shared a little bit about some things that they were thinking about and that they've experienced with near-death experiences vicariously through others. Shohana, thank you so much. Shohana, you actually put up a very scary video. You put up a video from when you were in quarantine, and I don't know, are you allowed to do that? Shohana, please don't get yourself in trouble. You put up a very scary video. Yeah, and you guys are talking about some very violent things in the chat. But the next thing that we have on our schedule is to actually talk about exploring the Holos' video that I have not had a chance to look at and I have not had a chance to post. So we will be looking at this. And it's so funny because Ren was talking about will forming. I don't know if she had just recently watched Andy's video and it kind of popped out. Same here, Shohana. Same here. What? Are you trying not to get in trouble or are you trying to get in trouble? And just so you guys know, for people who are watching on Facebook and YouTube, over here in Tangled, we have people who are pretty much from all around the world. We have people who are in Pakistan and the Philippines and in Europe and stuff. So because of Ramadan, a lot of people in Pakistan and the Middle East will be going to bed early or as early as they can because they still have to get up very early in the morning so that they can eat before the sun rises, okay? So we want to try and get through the meaty part of the stream as concisely and structured as possible. This Neogenian Life says, I really enjoyed this video. Ren and I are friends. She was the first Neogenian that reached out to me in the Q&A portion of one of Morg's live streams. Good video. And I also saw earlier that you said that you're excited for part 2 to come out. So I do hope that I can build a very strong Neogenian community here on Tangled and that everybody is open-minded and willing to take part in these complex conversations about topics that aren't easily addressed or confronted and sometimes might make people uncomfortable. So wow. Oluwa Oluwafemi who lives in Nigeria, is talking about I am grilling crocodile. Who is gonna join me? Was that crocodile alive before you started to do that? What are you doing? I have night shift, so I will be awake. Oh, Raza. Raza is breaking the law by being awake for the night. So Raza doesn't sleep, and Raza likes to cause a lot of problems in the chat. So anybody who likes drama can hang out with Raza. Oh, Raza said he has to go now because I get ready for work. Have fun, bro. Let me see. What did Deb say? Yes, part 2. Renaissance Fairy said they're coming, and then Deb said she. So she had a DMT experience. So then Laura is. I mean, I'm sorry. This Neogenian Lex says Deb. She wasn't on doing DMT. If that's what you meant. So this Neogenian Life, DMT is released from your pineal gland during near-death experiences as recorded in scientific study. So it is a naturally occurring chemical in our body. He's not saying that she was on an external substance during it, okay? Just so that there's no confusion. Yes, and that's what Jonathan Hernandez put into the chat. Awesome. I'm gonna start my own stream, and I hope no one from the chat joins. Time focus. Please be safe, bro. Please be safe. Thanks for the heart. I'm sorry that you had to see this violence in here. I'm so sorry. So yes, she was yeah, for sure. So we're gonna start this video. It happens when we sleep. Yeah, DMT also is released while we sleep too, right? We're gonna watch this video by collecting exploring the Holost, which is collective will forming explained, okay?
Hello, my name is Andy, and you're watching Exploring the Holos. Make sure you like and subscribe, and hit that bell if you want notifications every time a video comes out. And let's get into the subject this week. Last week I talked about will forming, and after filming that, I kind of thought that I didn't get into the unconscious part of it as much as I should have. So then after that, I'll go into collective will forming, which is the main subject of this video. Like the cookie and broccoli example I gave you last week, if your unconscious is constantly trying to derail you with cookie cravings, success is going to be less likely. So it's very important to align your unconscious with your conscious mind with your goal. They must be aligned together, and you can do that in a myriad of different ways. There is void states, meditation. A couple weeks ago, Morg went into a ritual that you can do using the pentagram, like that, and alchemy. Anything that resonates with your unconscious will work for this. And I suggest checking out Morg's video on that. I'm not exactly sure what the name of it was, but if you go back, I think it's something to do with an alchemy ritual for achieving your goals or something. But check that out. Check out all Morg's live streams. And regularly visualizing your goal tells your unconscious to focus on the goal. And it also helps if you visualize your goal when you're at an increased emotional state. And I think that will amplify it. And sometimes it helps to repeat a mantra about your goal before you go to sleep to help solidify it, because just before you're falling asleep in that time period is when your unconscious is more active. So, after you've mastered these steps and are confidently achieving your own personal goals, it's time to work towards the goals of a collective will. Because everything begins in the mind, we cannot have a new world unless we change mind first. We need to have a new consciousness. We need to share our Neo-Genian principles to shift the world into hyper-awareness. Everything is an externalization of thought. Every progressive person wants a new world with a brighter future, free from oligarchs and kings, but you rarely hear the evolution of human consciousness as a tool to accomplish that world. We are here actively trying to bring about that shift in human consciousness. And we need you to be a part of that. Otherwise, we will never create a unified planetary society if we remain fragmented in our understanding, shackled by outdated paradigms. The path to a unified society is both an individual and a collective journey to a higher consciousness. Personal evolution ripples out, influencing and transforming those around us. I'm sure you've heard of the butterfly effect. Not the movie, but the actual effect. It was a great movie. I'll give you that much. But the monarch effect is about understanding the butterfly effect in terms of the mind and consciously directing its power. By becoming aware of our influence, we can direct our energy purposefully. The monarch effect harnesses the butterfly effect principles with the added layer of conscious intent toward the goal. Every choice we make affects not only our personal will path, but also the collective will path of the world around us. If we can create ripples with our unconscious acts, imagine the tidal waves of transformation we can create with our conscious intention. Will forming is the realization that we are not at the mercy of external circumstances, but the masters of our own fate. We are the change that we've been waiting for. We are the revelation, the new consciousness, new humanity, and the new earth. By our will it be done. All of these subjects I'm talking about, will forming and collective will forming and stuff like that, can be found in this book right here, Psychogenesis by Morg. Check out this book and all of the Neo-Genian books available on Amazon right now. Well, I hope you like that. That's all I have for will forming. Next week, I'll be getting into becoming a catalyst for change. So remember, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications. And be safe. Take care of yourself. Ad Astra, my friends.
Okay, so I think that will forming is a pretty tough subject for people to tackle, because you kind of don't want to tell people what they should be doing, but you should have a good outline of what they can do to apply their will to things so that they can achieve their goals, right? Also, I want to make sure that Andy brought up a particular video of Morg's. He's talking about this video.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Dawn of the New.
So it's called How to Manifest Anything with This One Ritual. If you guys are interested in that, please feel free to look that up on YouTube, okay? You guys are psychopaths inside the chat, and that's okay. The world is predominantly run by psychopaths and sociopaths, so it's not unusual. And Time Fungus genuinely went and started his own live stream because he couldn't stand the insanity going on in the chat with you guys. So I don't blame him. And look, already 7 of you guys have gone over there to hang out with him. So hopefully it's a little bit safer over there. Saf Basi. I've seen you around quite a bit. You have your Instagram connected, and you are participating in challenges. Thank you for your follow for this Neogenian. And you have the KYT road. Okay. You have 82 subscribers. I'd be your 83rd subscriber. So, I'm not sure if Renaissance Fairy is still in the chat. I think you said that during your NDE or both your pre-NDE, you were hallucinating pretty much. You were seeing objects coming out of the ground. I don't know if you said it was hats or cats, um, but it's just kind of one of those situations where you were allowing um maybe the realm of pure mind to overlap with this shared dream world. So your personal dream world might have been overlapping with the collective dream world. Are you buying internal organs too? Oh man. Water fire. What are you talking about? And I see that it seemed like some of you guys were having a trouble connected to this stream, which is very unfortunate. And then, like I said, we're gonna circle back over to this side. I can see this morning. Oh, Little Hooligan is also streaming again. 32 minutes ago, and a few of you guys are over on Little Hooligans hanging out as well. Hamza Kazi, look at you. I see you, Hamza Kazi. Wow. No problem, bro. No problem. Annie, thanks for coming to hang out. How are you doing today? Look at this. It says 1381. What are you guys doing? What are you guys actually doing? You guys are destroying Tangled with your insanity. Man. But we're gonna go back to Renaissance Post from yesterday. Especially with some of the things you guys were talking about in the chat. So, for those of you watching on Facebook and YouTube, we have people who are Muslim, we have people who are Shinto or Buddhist or a variety of other religions around the world who are interacting with this content, and there are going to be things that not everybody agrees with, right? I think will forming is a difficult subject for some because of the current focus of New Age and on actualization, which have some overlap. Not saying those things are bad, just different. I think that some people have self-respect issues, and that's going to be one of the hardest tribulations to overcome when it on the path of will forming, because a lot of people don't respect themselves, they don't believe in themselves, they don't give themselves a chance to fail or make mistakes, and they don't know how to forgive themselves. So I think getting good sleep and having a sound mind, a lucid thinking is really important on the path of will forming, because you want to first have structured thoughts. You have to, even if it's just a small, insignificant thought, you have to be able to shape and sculpt it and then nurture it. You have to nurture that thought into a brilliant idea, right? And will forming can be as big or small as I want to have more plants in my life, right? And it's not enough to just keep buying plants. Like, I mean, for some people, it is enough to just buy plants. But as your acquisition of plants grows, you want to start mastering this skill of agriculture or herbalism, being able to properly take care of the plants that you're collecting, properly pick the roots or the leaves or the fruits or whatever part of it that is important, learning how to dry, and slowly but surely you are nurturing your will, you're nurturing your abilities, you're nurturing your power, right? Now, I'm not saying this is going to let you go out and take over the world, but it definitely allows you to exercise your will in a way that is most optimized, so you're not throwing your resources away. Yes, this Neogenian life, you have to be very careful about the company that you keep. And yeah, Dabs was saying some crazy stuff earlier. What were you saying, Dabs? I don't even know if I should scroll up to look. Uh, oh yeah, you were talking about somebody going to hell. You don't even need to name that person because that's already doing too much. You were saying that during his experience, he didn't see a tunnel with white light at the end of it. You were like, he was going straight to hell. That's kind of fucked, bro. And that's another thing. I was just talking to somebody the other day that believes that they're going to be raptured. Like, there are people who are still waiting to be, like, beamed off the planet. Like, seriously. What's going on with Annie? Why are you guys... Yes, Debs, your life has, I'm sure, been very full of violence, and you have gone through many types of tribulations. So I do hope that you can overcome the violence and transmute it into something that does not perpetuate violence in your environment, but instead nurtures peace or protection or safety. So, you can take this chart with a grain of salt, right? But I use this chart for mindfulness. Yeah, you definitely want to be careful. That's why I go to people's pages. There are people who have very outlandish beliefs. There are people who are delusional. There are people who are hyper religious and stuff like that. So definitely want to be careful with who you're interacting with. Thank you for the dozens of people in the chat. I mean, in the watching the video. I appreciate you guys. But I want to talk to you guys about this level of consciousness chart. I don't know whose chart this is, or it said made by John Mers or something like that. Well, thanks, John, for making this. I like this chart. So levels of consciousness. Down it talks about like third dimensional consciousness, fourth dimensional consciousness. Below third dimensional consciousness, this talks about fear and love. These are the axioms that we're on, fear and love right here. And everything down here is fear, and everything up here is love. And we want to look at love as a unifying function, and we want to look at fear as a dividing function, a separating function, okay? At the very bottom, we have death. I would say that there are a lot of people who are afraid of death, and we were just talking about NDEs, which is why I think that this is very related, right? And death is what separates us from the collective, separates us from this shared dream that we're having with the collective, the other conscious minds instead of the unconscious minds, especially in this particular field of consciousness that we find ourselves in. And then right above death is shame and guilt. Look at how low on the levels of consciousness these two emotions, I would say, these two feelings, these states of mind are: shame and guilt. Now, if you find yourself subscribing to ideas that breed shame and guilt inside of you, right? Your state of mind is not that broad, it's not that healthy. Let's see. It says energy frequencies. It says associated emotional states. So shame is associated with humiliation and guilt is associated with blame. And right above these is apathy. So I want you guys to take the time out to reflect on your own thoughts and your own thinking. And so you guys decided to switch to talking trash in another language in the chat. So I'm gonna probably have to start banning people from coming into the chat for extended periods of time. I know I do like this chart a lot. And then it says views on life. People who feel a lot of shame and humiliation are generally, they feel miserable. People who are possessed by guilt and blame have a sense of evil. They look at the world or life as an evil experience. I don't care if you guys talk about talking other languages in the chat, but the thing is, I know that you guys are talking trash in another language. So once it starts getting to that point, then we have problems, because I will literally block you guys. And then once you guys get blocked, I don't know when I'll decide to unblock you guys, you know? And then that's you guys missing out. And then people who have this like apathy, they have a certain look of hopelessness when it comes to their views on life. And it says to transcend this state of mind, apathy, guilt, shame, you should be taking action. Death is also in this. I guess there are some people who are walking around already dead, which is sad. But taking action is super important. And this is why I was talking about earlier, giving yourself a chance to fail. Hello to everybody on Facebook. Please leave some comments so that we know who's hanging out with us. Don't forget to like and share. Taking action is super duper important for overcoming low states of mind. And there are a lot of people who say, oh, go to the gym, go work out. That is good advice for sure, because at least now you are moving your body, you are putting yourself in a state where you have to coordinate your senses. So at least a certain part of your mind has to focus on something, right? It says what we experience in action. A lot of these people who are in this state are in a state of inaction. And it says state of consciousness, out of body experience, near death experience, possession states, unconscious, REM sleep, and coma death. So a lot of times I have associated with people a lot in my life who constantly dissociate. They will spend hours so deep in their own thoughts or overthinking that they aren't focused and lucid and applying their thoughts to the world around them. So you can't form or nurture or shape your will when you're stuck. It's not just fight or flight, it's fight, flight, or freeze. A lot of people don't realize that freeze is one of them, and that you have to overcome being frozen, you know? You don't want to just be fighting. You don't just want to be running. You don't want to just be frozen. You want to be well structured, thoughtful, lucid, calm, right? And directed with your thoughts and actions. So grief, there's a lot of people who are suffering from grief, which deep regret, and they look at life as very tragic. And then here's fear. Fear is rules over all of these. Fear rules over grief, apathy, guilt, and shame. And if for those of you who don't know, apathy is the inability to care about others. Apathy is you literally just do not care. everything is full of despair and hopelessness. So fear is anxiety and frightening. They look at the world as a very frightening place. I talk about fear a lot because I like fear. I like having a sense of what causes different states of mind within inside of me. And so, being aware of what makes me anxious or uncomfortable is helpful to me. I don't run away from it. I face my fears, right? I confront them. I put them in a place that allows me to interact with them without becoming crippled or frozen. It says, definitely overcome them, hyperactivity, suffering, drug intoxication. Some people, to overcome their fear, will try and get very heavy into drugs or drinking or things that will alter their state of mind so that they can perform certain actions without the guilt of making the choice themselves if something goes wrong. If we try to fail, at least we can use what we learn in the process. If we don't try, we can't succeed. Failing is just a lesson on how to do things differently. Failing is very important. Very, very important. And I think that one of the issues that we have with our current society is that we do not have enough safety mechanisms for people to go out into the world and fail on purpose. Joanna Laguna, thank you so much for creating a Tangled account and giving me a follow. I appreciate that. That happened about 10 minutes ago. I am sorry that I am just now seeing this. Thank you so much, Joanna. I appreciate you. And that is another Neogenian that has come over from a different platform and joined Tangled. So I really deeply appreciate you moving over here. And Jonathan Hernandez says, you have to fail to succeed. You can't be scared for failing. The thing is, scared or not, I want people to have a sense of fear. Fear is important. It lets you know that there are consequences to what might unfold next. What's important is having the courage and bravery to overcome those fears, which most people refuse to nurture and cultivate within inside of them, because the depravity is so deep within them. They don't believe that the small chance that something good can happen is worth the large chance that something bad would happen. No problem, Ren. Have a safe trip, have fun, make smart choices, okay? Yes, failing is the first lesson in life for sure. And then we're just gonna slowly go up this chart, just because I want you guys to, when you are in your day-to-day life and you are performing acts of meta rationalism or meta thinking, right? You are allowing your thoughts to reflect and think upon themselves. I want you to structure your feelings and ideas and see where you're falling on this list throughout the day. Like, did your anger or desire or fear take control of you? Is this what is driving your actions? And then, like I said, you can take this chart with a grain of salt, but I like to use it as a tool for reflection. Okay. I hope that we can all have a great rest of our day. I hope you drive safe and have a great rest of your day as well. So let's keep looking at this. So once we start getting into the more higher aspect of fear instead of the very deep lower aspects, we have things like desire, anger, pride, right? So desire is craving, and their view on life is disappointing. Life is very disappointing, I guess, where there isn't enough to satisfy them. They're constantly disappointed with, I guess, how unfulfilled they're feeling. Anger, lots of hate and rage. They have very antagonistic. They think the world is out to get them, or that maybe they're out to get the world. They can't tell. And then pride is full of scorn and demanding. Sometimes I feel like I can be very demanding, or they feel like in this sense life is very demanding of them. So they have a lot of pride because um if they don't act in a very particular way or behavior, what life is demanding of them, um, being a man or woman, having a family, having a job, providing, playing a role in society, if they aren't fulfilling these demands, right, then they're full of scorn, and when they are fulfilling these demands they are filled with pride, right, or pride has taken over them, mind you. Now when we're talking about having a very narrow state of mind and sense of thinking, it's great to have a sense of pride in what you do in your everyday life, but if it consumes the totality of your being or is possesses your ego, then that's when you become an NPC. The pride and lower, these are the let me see, maybe pride and a few above it and most of these below. This is the NPC range right here. You are consumed by these feelings of scorn, hate, craving, anxiety, regret, despair, and blame, humiliation. And these are the negative archetypes, the pride archetype, the anger archetype, that are driving your actions and behaviors. So it says, for pride and anger, use energy positively. So even if you are full of pride and anger, you need to learn how to transmute that energy into a positive direction, either for yourself or the people around you or just the overall world. And then it does say that it falls into the range of like illnesses, mental dysfunction, and mental disorder. But like I said, there's going to be certain parts of this that aren't easily understood unless you have certain backgrounds and a certain understanding of how to apply these so that you don't lose your mind. Like down here, it says that these are all hell. Grief and below, this is pure hell. Once you're in like the, what is it, courage to fear range, it's purgatory. And then they start talking about in between paradise and heaven and stuff like that. And these are just supposed to be states of mind. I wouldn't say that these are actual locations that we're existing in, right? Physically. According to me, pride is overconfidence. Pride is like, how dare you talk to me like that? Do you know who I am? I'm the CEO of this particular company, and my company makes $2 billion every 2 weeks. How dare you not make my coffee the way that I tell you to make it? You want to talk back to me or cut me off in traffic? These are the people who are overly prideful in their ability to fulfill the demands of society, like that. Okay. Someone saying, "Do you know who I am?" Yeah, literally. So Dabs, you got it. Shohana, why are you scared? Thank you, Annie, for still being here. Where can you get a copy of this chart? I left it in Ren's on Ren's post, so you should be able to go directly to the post and download it. But I can always send it to you on Facebook as well. Shohana, why are you scared? Right, and the thing is, like, there's these people who like pride. Another negative way to understand how pride is applied in our society are the people who can function well with how our society is formed, being able to win in capitalism, win in relationships, and win in these, you know, like social games that we have set up for ourselves, and then despising people who don't succeed at capitalism or education or relationships and stuff like that. They look down at people like, oh, I can do it, why can't you? Right? That's another way to look at it in a very negative form. Let me see. This Neogenian Life says, good question. I often had to look at myself instead of focusing on just the fear. I asked myself why I fear. What is it that really is at the root of my fear? You were talking like, how dare you? So I was scared. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, how dare you talk to me like that? But unfortunately, my whole thing is, this is where you have to have healthy levels of things. You do need to have self-respect. It is okay to have pride within inside of yourself, but you shouldn't demean other people at the expense of your pride, right? Just like you shouldn't allow other people to demean you so that they feel better about themselves, right? So that's why everything is on a spectrum. This chart is a spectrum. You're never going to forever be in one place on this chart. And one moment you might be all the way down here at guilt, and another moment you might be all the way up here in inner love or neutrality or willingness, you know? So I think that just getting interacting with these types of ideas and getting a sense of it can definitely help expand our breadth of mind, right? Help us shake our worldviews or our reality tunnels. Tour is cool. Thanks for the subscription. I'm not sure who that is. I will check it out on Ren's post later. Thanks, Lee. I should probably print it, unframe it. Yeah, I think that it's really good. You might be able to download it on Google in a higher quality. I've had this for a long time, and I've shared it and screenshotted it over and over again. Even I have faced it many times, but after start facing it. So we go through cycles in life, where sometimes every year we are literally struggling through the same problems. Maybe we're struggling through the same problems every few years and stuff like that. And a lot of it is making sure that we are remembering the life lessons we've learned in the past and not repeating the same behavioral patterns or falling into the same chains of thought. So I think that we have to be extra mindful about who we decide to interact with, our own personal views of ourselves and others, and how we decide to express the energy that we have. So that's why when people are like in New Ages, they'll be like, oh, I'm protecting my energy, okay, you protecting your energy from what are you going to do with that energy? And that's why I feel like this chart is very helpful, because now you can learn to direct your energy in the direction that you want to go. So once we start getting up here to like courage and affirmation, so courage is associated with the feelings, the emotional state of affirmation. I can achieve this. I will achieve this. This is what I'm going after. Even though I'm afraid, I will overcome this fear. And their worldview is, view on life is feasible. I have the courage to do this because I believe this is true. Key to transcending this level is appreciation, right? So, and then narrowed consciousness, state of consciousness. And having a narrowed consciousness isn't necessarily a bad thing. Being able to hunker down and focus is really useful. A lot of people don't have that ability. So if you can focus, you can structure your thoughts and put yourself in a place where you can zone in, you can overcome a tribulation with that energy. And yes, Dabs is always smiling. Dabs, even though it's probably some type of like manic psychotic smile, it's still a smile. It still counts. Let's see, neutrality. So this is when we break past this third dimensional thinking and enter into this fourth dimensional thinking, which again I think is probably some kind of new age nonsense, but it's okay. So neutrality is having trust in uh being satisfied with life. And I'm not saying that like you're satisfied with being poor or anything like that, but let me see. So down here we seen what were we talking about yesterday? You have to have a certain level of gratitude. I wouldn't necessarily say satisfactory. I would probably say um, having gratitude, appreciating the lessons that you learn in life. There are people who are struggling every day, and the way that they're overcoming it is through gratitude. They are realizing that what they're going through is some type of mistake that they made. They're owning up to it, they're taking accountability, and they are deciding to appreciate this chance to learn and grow. Even though it might cause them a setback, they have now acknowledged that in the future they will try harder or restructure themselves in a different way so that they don't fall into the same situation. Dabs is losing his mind, but it's okay. Sometimes you can't help being poor. Everyone doesn't have the same opportunities. And that's very true. Sometimes you can't help being poor, and you can't blame people for that either. It's not their fault that they're poor. This world will on purpose suck the life out of you and suck all of the resources out of you. So, Dabs, I didn't say anything about the things that you were saying, but the chat earlier was getting absolutely out of hand. So don't mind it too much. And then a willingness. See, once we start getting into this willingness, optimism, and hopeful, it makes me start to wonder. I know that this is a chart associated with a book that I haven't read yet, so I will have to go out and look at this book. And then up here is inner light and reason is really where you want to like start at. This is where you want to start your spiritual awakening on very difficult paths, because a lot of people start down their spiritual awakening in very eclectic or irrational paths, and it confuses them and people lose their mind, or they become obsessed with different types of fairy tales or myths. They still are chasing after mythos, and they don't realize that what they need is telos, logos, purpose and direction, truth. Long time no see. Missed the pump. What pump? There was no pump. Or how long has Fasal been gone? Been gone for a long time. There hasn't been a pump in 2 weeks. You guys are destroying the market. But yeah, so if you guys are interested in this chart, go ahead and come over to the Neogenian page and look for the Renaissance post for emotional intelligence. I left it in the comments down here. And then these are just lists of all the different types of emotions that you can feel and their associations. Here is an emotional wheel: terror, fear, apprehension, anger, annoyance, right? And this. So, mindfulness will definitely help you. Let's see who this is. Somebody from 2 years ago. Oh, that looks scary. Wife's secret sins. I don't know who this is, but thanks for the follow. Your page is a little scary. You only got 3 posts. And then it says it's starting soon.
Sup, you still up?
Yeah, everybody's over here. I actually have completed everything that I wanted to complete today on our stream, and so I want to thank everybody. I will be tallying up the comments for the last 2 posts, and I will be getting off of here. Jonathan Hernandez will be live streaming next, even though it seems like Time Fungus and Lil Hooligan are streaming. Hello Hooligan has ended his stream, so he's no longer streaming. So it's just going to be Jonathan Hernandez and Time Fungus. Jonathan Hernandez says he is going live in 30 minutes, so he will see you guys then. And Time Fungus usually doesn't stream for longer than like an hour or two. So after all of that, Jonathan Hernandez will probably be streaming for like 3 hours. So I will pop in when I can, bro. Thank you guys for hanging out today. Thank you to everybody who came out and checked out on YouTube, all the people on Facebook. I appreciate it. Thank you for Joanna Laguna for creating a new Tangled account. And it seems like she already had a subscriber. Somebody has already gone over there and subscribed to her. How lovely. And we will catch you guys later. This is, I'm about to say, Sinfully Cerebral, and we are out. Good night.